Edenshaw, my homie JR. Dopest natives alive, baby. Let's go.
Dopest natives alive. Dopest natives alive.
Give me chills.
The dopest natives alive, Northside Bay. Boom.
Love around you. Also never giving up, and I'm so glad I found you. I'm about to lose it, and I'm better my manners. I am not sorry, I don't fit the beauty standards. If you really think about it, then what truly matters is knowing the conclusions based on peculiar data. If you feel bad, if you feel like giving up, this is me giving love, and us you live it up. If you're feeling low, then you're feeling stuck. So pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite uncle back in the motherfucking house, and I'm here with the one and only Manik1derful, East Van City resident.
Yeah, what up, what up, what up?
One of the original MCs in this Indigenous MC business. We're happy.
If they say OG, it means old guys.
Old guys, 1900s. We're from the 1900s. Yeah, we're just coming into one of Manik1derful's new tracks. Spitting bars. You know how it goes down, So, Mr. Manik1derful, we're glad to have you in the studio.
Yeah, brother.
And tell us where you're from. Like, you can do it traditionally, or you can do it on the G side.
Yeah, well, everybody knows I've always represented East Vancouver for a long time. I'm from East Van. But traditionally, culturally, I come from the Gakils, Kigaway, Skadans, Raven clan of Haida Gwaii via my mother. And my father is a Kalahu from the Michelle Band, which is a Métis, Dene, Cree, Iroquois mix of people that are based around St. Albert, Alberta, and just outside of Edmonton. And I grew up in my younger years on the res up until 5. From 5, my family relocated to Victoria. Yeah. And at 10, my parents split. My mom lived in East Van, my dad lived in Victoria, and I went back and forth until my teenage years. I lived on my own, and I was mostly in Vancouver, and I've been here since 19. I haven't went back to Victoria, back and forth. Just been here since.
That's dope. You know, that's how we got to do it. You know, like we got traditional introductions. We follow protocol up in this bitch. You know, I'm from the Frog Clan, Saikaz Nation, Carrier Nation, Cree Nation, Treaty 6, Treaty 8, all over, and that shit is great. But the other thing is, my East Van protocols. I'm from Skeena Projects. Born and raised there. All my hoods, Clark Park.
I'm from Commercial Drive.
Used to get dropped off at Auntie Leona's house at Raycam to get babysat. So I'm from all over this bitch. I'm like,
I lived in Raycam. I lived on Raymer. Mostly around. I never lived more than a few minutes from Commercial Drive though. Always lived around Commercial Drive, and I remember.
I'm not claiming Raycam. Because you guys were our ops back in the day. Your guys' ball hockey team used to come to Skeena Projects, and we used to watch all the old guys out there playing, banging, and crashing, and then the fist fights after outside in the parking lot. And I'd like to say we held it down, but when we came to the Raycam, I heard that tables got turned over there. So
there's tough East Enders all around. I actually come from Coconut Grove though, down by Dundas.
Yeah.
Right, so that down that area, and back in the day, that was a whole different world. Then that was the other skids.
12th Ave Posse, where it all began. 12th, we used to walk down Woodland. We call it Hoodlum Drive, right from 12th Ave all the way down to Hastings, and you get to different little parts, different little cliques all the way down. You got a scrap as soon as you got around 5th and Commercial.
Do you remember what it was like before they put all the partitions in?
Yeah, we'd hang out at that park. I don't know.
Before they put the partitions in, every
Woodland Bridge.
Every few days there'd be a high-speed chase right through the neighborhood. Right. I think other than that, there was all the Johns that were circling around.
There was a shooting there once too.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why they put the partitions in. I just know that I assumed it was to do with the Johns and then to cut off the car routes. But I don't know if there's something. I remember they used to march around and they used to take pictures of all the Johns and then post their posters up at the intersections. You remember seeing those?
Oh, yeah. No,
they would go around. These people would wear their orange vests and they'd walk around my neighborhood, and I'd be 11, 12 years old, and I'd be on my balcony looking, and they'd have flashlights and cameras, and where there was lots of underage prostitutes in the hood, right? And so there was a big thing to get, protect them. They should, and it was pretty brutal at that time. There was literally things, kiddie tracks. It was like a thing that existed, right? That was, a sad reality, right? But what they were doing was taking pictures of these guys that were driving around, or while they were talking to girls, or girls were getting in the car, they'd take pictures. they would blur out the pictures of the ladies, but then they would go and post those pictures at intersections. Is this your husband? He was seen picking up a prostitute at this time. That was all around that time. And then I remember they put all those petitions in.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, East Van was a different time zone back then. It's nothing like it is now. I mean, I remember sitting in this restaurant on Commercial Drive, and I wanted to order the East Van burger. You know what it was?
What?
It was Beyond Meat. And I was like, bro, you got to change this shit because East Van, we love beef, okay? We need that full fucking triple patties extra beef in that bitch. Because this shit is no bueno, Beyond Meat. But beyond that, I remember back in 1993, a young buck I was just locked up, Vancouver pretrial, and we had 4 stations on the wall. And every Tuesday morning, I used to click it on and listen to the morning drive by 102.7 with Maximus Clean. Wherever he is, shout out to Maximus Clean, holding me down while I was, up in the clink. And I used to hear you guys phone in and rap. And this was the era, like you were saying, that, it was unheard of to have Canadian rappers, let alone Indigenous rappers.
That's true.
So that was back in the day.
That was awesome, the morning drive-by. And you know what? Actually, I think I lost to Caspian once on there, who was like a legend on that show. Yeah. And I don't remember what happened the other time, but I do know Oz used to go under aliases. He used to go under an alias on there. If people that know that show remember, he used to go under an alias called Mad Raps, and nobody ever knew who Mad Raps was. But that was actually Oz, and he was slaughtering people when he was about 14 years old on that show, and he was like this mysterious character. Yeah. But yeah.
That's some dope Sunday school dropout history that you don't know, and you only find out here on Dopest Natives Live. So we're happy to have you because we've been talking for a while to get you out here, sit down and chop it up because you're a hip hop knowledge keeper. Yeah. Hey, do you guys know that's a new one? A hip hop knowledge keeper, traditional knowledge keeper of Indigenous hip hop, right here. And we wanted to pick your brain and talk about how that was being one of the, coming up early in the game. And
yeah, for sure. Well, like we spoke about before, there used to be a point in time where there was no native hip hop. And when I came onto the scene, and you'd remember these times too, there was no native hip hop, there was no recognition, and at that time, even amongst our own peoples, it was really like weird. Like probably got the most hate from other natives, right? Like that's not our ways, that's not our people. Right, I remember someone, even my precious father. I remember one time he said to me, he's like, why are you listening to that? Are you trying to be black? And so I responded, I go, well, you're listening to rock and roll. These rock and roll guys, are you trying to be white? Right. And, I wasn't trying to be lippy. I was trying to put it in perspective, and it actually did work. He was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, well, my older brother used to do the same thing to me. He was right into, he had the East Van dinner jacket on, the Storm Rider with the AC/DC Metallica patches. And he used to be like, why do you listen to this rap crap? And I remember him coming home back then. He bought a '69 Mustang, and I remember after a while it wore on him, and he'd pull up listening to Schoolie D, just 212s booming. I'm black, too damn powerful, and he's got his wraparound shades on. I'm just like, man, this dude right here, right? So, yeah, I know what that was like. We were there at the beginning when hip hop was just in its infancy.
Well, yes, it's true. I was lucky though, because my family was always into alternative musics other than just the rock and roll. Like a lot of my family in Haida Gwaii, I don't know if people are familiar, but up there, blues is loved. Yeah. And I've always wondered why, but as I got older, I realized that blues singing is really similar to West Coast singing. Yeah. Like it comes from that same place. And so I think singing along to these blues songs is just familiar for us. Yeah. And then when you listen to the content, and this relates to hip hop, the content is similar to what we're going through. Yeah. But then you start looking at hip hop itself, and you look at the history of Black Americans and the interconnectivity with Indigenous peoples. Now, I'm not saying this to stake claim to hip hop. It's birthed in Black America and Latin
on Indigenous lands.
On Indigenous lands. But what people fail to remember is rap is just one part of hip hop. Breakdancing and graffiti and breakdancing, graffiti, and DJing are the other major elements. Yeah. And graffiti is deeply rooted in Mexican culture. As we know, Mexicans are Indigenous people, right? Breakdancing has taken influence from powwows. It's known as well as old black dance and other dances around the world to create hip hop, what it is. But Indigenous footwork is part of it. And it's said to be a part of it by the originators of it. And then when you start looking at rap music itself, Melly Mel's always claimed to be Cherokee. Then you look at people like Ernie P, who was documenting. He's always documented hip hop with a long braid as that Native person. So we've had place in hip hop since the beginning.
Yeah.
And the history is just not really well known. And that's not to take away from anybody else or any other ethnicities, but we did have a place, and we do. It was an easy adaptation for us.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, when I started hearing about these young people making these songs about poverty, about hardships, about struggle, about violence and gangster shit, stuff I seen and witnessed and experienced, it was the music I gravitated to.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're one of the main, or one of the original ingredients in the melting pot of hip hop when they first whipped up that sacred stew.
Yeah, and then so when people like before me, there was groups like Without Reservation in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
There was Lightfoot's based out of Oklahoma. He lives in Seattle, right? And who's now gone on to be this multi-millionaire business mogul guy that teaches business. And that was all based off of his hip-hop career, traveling to reserves, making merchandise and music.
Yeah.
He's became ultra successful that way.
Yeah.
And gone into acting. And then up north, we had War Party. And War Party was, they broke down, they took if Lightfoot made some major strides, War Party took it to the next level, whereas they started making professional music videos. They shot, Feeling Reserved was the first professionally shot music video for native hip hop artists. And Rex actually coined the term native hip hop. He was the first to really proclaim native hip hop existed.
Shout out to Rex.
At the same time, there was a guy that was down in the States, and he had a page out. It was a GeoCities page called Native Hip Hop, and his name was Junior Simpson. Yeah. Rest in peace to him. He's passed down. He started that page, and that page was this GeoCities group where he kind of put bios up for all these native artists, and he started kind of mapping out and talking about different regions. And I did the same thing. I got a job at Redwire magazine, which was such a great place. And I created a website in 2000 called redhiphop.com. And I was doing something similar, but I wanted to do an actual webpage because he had a GeoCities group. I wanted to do an actual webpage.
Yeah.
And so we started putting people's music up. So this was the first streaming platform for Indigenous artists. Yeah. Well, we uploaded some MP3s people could stream. We had some bios, and then, it became really connected me with a whole shitload of people doing that work. That's how I started connecting. And it wasn't about me rapping, it was me connecting with people through that website. Yeah. And then they found out, this guy raps too, and we started connecting, and then next thing you know, there started being more connections between people, shows happening.
Yeah, I don't think that sometimes people maybe realize the contributions they make, or maybe not get the, not that people look for accolades, but like Dopest Natives Alive is all like an extension of those early works that was laid down by the forefathers of Indigenous hip hop. Now, today, we got dopestnativesalive.com, which is similar in showcasing Indigenous talent, and that's the whole concept of just continuing to fan the flames, because it seems like it's been a slow burn for us. Like, we haven't caught fire, but we're gaining. We're building slowly.
Yep.
But that's a continuation of the work that was set out, before us.
That's right, and I think people people will take notice and start seeing. It happens. It just happens. People just are going to recognize as the content goes out. We just got to keep pushing that content out and giving that opportunity. I'm excited to see the cypher that's going to be happening.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking about, like when you're talking about the early foundation of hip hop in general. When I think about, like, I've been thinking about like how everybody crossed over, and they said that like 70% of the consumers of let's say African American hip hop is white people. And the 30% that is the black people that listen to their own music, they listen to it more intently, more critically, and more, I'm going to say like us, crabs in a bucket, fighting amongst each other, right? So do we got to follow the same kind of game plan where, we'll be called sellouts if we start making music for the gatekeepers and the people that can break it mainstream?
So that's exactly what happened. That's why I took a break from hip-hop, actually. I took a long hiatus, fucking decade. Yeah. Decade I didn't put out any music, and I was pretty consistent up to that point. I was right into it. I was battling and doing shows and putting out music. But when I started off, I was involved with Native Youth Movement, and it was really politicized.
Yeah.
And the respect and the amount of community support that I got was amazing. That was my true foundations. But my life had changes and things. I had adjustments in my life, and things got a little bit grimy, and I got involved into the streets somewhat. My music reflected that, and I started making more and I started working in clubs more, and it wasn't about me selling out and define my message. That was how I was living, it was what I was doing, and I was rapping about it. And so I lost a lot of my core fan base, or people started saying, you should only be talking about movement stuff. That's what we like you for, and whatever. And I was like, sorry, people, this is my music, and I'm making it for me to make music. I'm not making it for other people. I'm making it. It's kind of a personal thing, making music. I'm not trying to appease everybody.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt the judgments and criticisms and other people's outside of opinions were affecting me. I started worrying too much about that, to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't even need to make any more music. I made so many fucking songs at this point, but I love this culture so much. I still want to support. And so I pivoted from making my own music and pushing myself to pushing other artists.
Yeah.
Right? Take some of the heat off of myself, some of the stress. Probably a lot of it was just myself overthinking.
Yeah. I think a big part of it is overthinking, because I've been behind the scenes for a lot of years, working with artists, trying to push artists. And just recently, this year, I decided that, maybe all this time I should have been pushing myself and doing my own thing, right? Putting myself in front of the camera and so on and so forth. I'm still not comfortable with it, but you know what? We're getting a little bit long in the tooth, so I want to, throw my hat in the game and knock it off the bucket list. So
now things are more calm. Things are going good in life. I've had some major traumatic, really horrible things happen, in life. But where I'm at, as far as what I want to put into music, is really focused now. I've got a lot of life experience and a really big focus as to what I want to put out as far as a project. And I don't feel that I've ever made a project that really, really showcases who I really am as a person. People have gotten phases of me, bits and pieces, but I think this project is really going to showcase exactly who I am as a person, what I believe in, what I think, what my goals are for the community, lots of my beliefs. And I've really shed a lot of the negativity, a lot of the stressful, hateful shit, and really filtered it through. That doesn't mean it's going to be just a positive, loving, happy-go-lucky album. I'm going to always talk about harsh realities and shit going on in the world and the hood and whatever's, Yeah. But I think I'm at a place where I could do it in a healthy way now. And the way that's going to come across in music, I hope is going to be accepted good.
Yeah, like for me back in the day, like I listened to like a lot of my influences, like say Too Short, for example. Like I used to rock out to these guys, and I thought that shit was like gangster rap. But when you listen to him explain his music, like Blow the Whistle, that song was really about, hey man, you better stop. You're going way too hard. You can't handle all that. Like, he was talking about you're gonna die from this, just too much drugs and shit. And that's why he was like, I'm gonna blow the whistle. You need to stop.
Yeah.
You need to chill, right? So that's kind of how I look at music for myself as a mature person now. Is like sharing those stories. People might listen to it on the surface and say these guys trying to be gangster, they're trying to, but really I'm just, I'm telling you the story. If you read between the lines, you know what I'm really saying, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so I got into I totally agree. So when I got into doing stuff for the community and creating the Native Hip Hop Society to do the Native Hip Hop Festival, I guess in 2013, I decided to put together the Native Hip Hop Festival with zero funding, just a plan. And I really wanted to push that. There was nothing like it yet. There should be. There was big shows that were going on. Like there was people have been doing these big shows, tours. There wasn't a consistent thing every year for a Native hip hop. So we created the Native Hip Hop Festival. Yeah. We got a whole bunch of. We had Lightning Cloud and Dreezus and all these people coming out for the first one, and they all did it on the love. They did it for a couple $100, and like. These are people these people are all these are people that could have all fetched big paydays, and they're all had but they all wanted to see it happen. Yeah. And so we made it happen, and for a couple of years that's how we did the Native Hip Hop Festival. We even brought Ernie out to the first one based on just ticket sales. Yeah. Zero funding from anywhere, and I think that's pretty amazing looking back on that. That was pretty cool. We did that. Yeah. And then after a few years, wasn't into the grant system at all. I just didn't care for it. I wasn't motivated, and it was daunting to me. I think it just seemed like a test I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Even though the payouts were so good. And I remember when I did try writing one grant and got turned down. I didn't like that feeling. Yeah. And I just don't. I was like, fuck. And I put a lot of effort into that. But that's, as I learned, that's just how the game is.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyhow, I had my 10-year-old son, I think, or else my daughter at the park over at Trout Lake, and another lady was there. She was playing with her child, and I don't remember, we started talking about something, and I said, I'm promoting my festival. I go, I'm promoting this festival, and I go, I do this, no funding, I do it like this. I'm so proud of that no funding thing. It was a big thing. And she's like, well, sounds amazing what you're doing, but it's crazy that you don't have funding, because you're really just promoting these Indigenous artists and blah, 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 right? She's like, she goes, well, my job is to fund, I'm a funder. I work for Canadian Heritage, and I fund festivals.
Wow.
I was like, what? Really? She's like, and your festival falls exactly into their funding grant stream.
Yeah.
And they said, and we just developed this new project. You don't even have to write the grant. You could call in and talk to me and tell me about it, and I'll talk to you. You could verbally submit your grant that way. Yeah. And so I verbally submitted it, and I got a grant for the Native Hip Hop Festival, and they've been my main funder since.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty hilarious. Oh yeah, my point was though, that was just a little side story. My point was, when I'm doing these Native Hip Hop Festival events, and we're looking at all the different artists, we have so many good artists, and some are going to be talking this political stuff, some are youth empowerment stuff, some are going to be talking historical stuff. A lot of us are going to be talking street-based stuff. The majority of Native rappers out there have a street edge to them, come from the hoods, come from the streets because of history. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And so I learned right quick from my own experience as the artist, and then when I became the presenter, that I can't judge, and it's not my job to censor and choose what an Indigenous person uses their voice on.
Yeah.
My job is to provide a safe, good space for them to have a voice.
Yeah.
What they say is not my job. My job is to provide that space only.
Yeah.
I'm not there to tell them, don't talk about that. I'm not there to say, I got to be consider if they have a song that might be too harsh. Maybe it's too harsh. It might insult too. I could say, maybe don't do that one song because of the crowd. And, I have to be, as the presenter, I got to realize, okay, I'm going to put these guys on the club show, right?
Yeah.
And these other guys, they'll be on the show with the all ages show, and I just got to work it properly. But it's not my job really to like not hire them because they're not good enough, or they're not, you know what I mean? They're not nice enough people, or not political enough, or whatever those, that's.
Well, I'm going to tie this into Indigenous medicines and responsibility as you climb in those ranks and responsibilities. If you became a pipe carrier, a song keeper, or any of these things that you do, there comes responsibility with that gift, right? And you have to be careful of, one of the most powerful things, the words that you share with people. And you've probably heard they're like bullets from a gun. Once you shoot them, you can't take them back.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of balance for me personally that people need to find is to know that, because I've asked people with this responsibility that you have, as I just was talking with Indigenous Batty the other day, Michelle Chubb, I asked her, so how is that responsibility for you to know that you have such an influence on people with what you say and what your opinion on things are? There's a responsibility in that, and you can't be careless with just... so that would be my angle. And if that kind of bleeds into censorship, I'm not quite sure. Yeah,
I think there's a difference. But I think responsibility of individual artists is different. But what I'm talking about as a presenter. Yeah. I mean that I can't, when I'm making my choice on who I'm hiring, I'm not gonna not hire somebody because they're not.
I think you just nailed it. As a presenter, I'm presenting you a certain perspective of a life that's actually happening now in the rawest form. And if it's uncomfortable for you to hear, that's just what it is,
and
right?
It takes me back to Redwire Magazine. And the coolest thing about Redwire Magazine is that it was uncensored Indigenous youth voice. Yeah. And that uncensored, when we talked about that at the office, and we really meant that we're not going to censor. If you are going to tell us about your life going through the harshest of the street tales, or if you're gonna, and let your imagination run wild, if it's not incriminating or bragging about hurting somebody, then we were gonna print it.
Yeah.
If it was, whatever the scenario, if you're gonna talk about your life as a protester and going to a roadblock, we weren't going to change that.
Yeah.
But that just having that voice was the important part, because as we know, that voice was taken from us. And a lot of us haven't gotten that voice back yet.
Yeah, yeah.
And that silence, that imposed silence on our people is why I promote native hip hop, or what I really push. I really push for our people just to talk and let it out. It's not going to sound beautiful all the time. It's going to be harsh. It might be scary and sad, and but these words have to come out. And I did a bunch of different studio projects over the years, right? And back in the day when we first started doing studio projects out of the Friendship Center when I was working at Kaya, I would tell these kids, write about anything that you need to get off your chest. We don't have to release it. We don't even have to record it. Just write it. Just get it out, rap it, say it. Just say those words. And that just comes from old teachings and lessons, that we've had. And so a lot of hip hop and a lot of the way we go about hip hop could be directly inspired by traditional cultural ways. Yeah. And for me personally, I've always tried to be as responsible. Unless I didn't. There was times where I was pissed off at the world, I was, maybe got caught fucking cheating and fucking got ripped off over this way, and these people are hating on me and these people are talking about. So when I went to the studio that day, I just fuck everything, and I just wrote an asshole song, fuck everybody. Right?
Sometimes I just feel like I want to go off.
Right.
I did the same thing. I have I guess call them moods. Like people have, all the best people in the world have moments where they lose their control and whatever. And I think it's a healthy way just to put it up in a song form instead of an actual acting out on it. And hopefully it doesn't affect people. But I know people can relate to that. Like, sometimes I feel like just getting up and flipping this fucking table and letting these motherfuckers know. But
so there's another thing that's going on, and this has to do with the cancel culture, which is to me, I don't have an issue with it at all, because safety is important. And there's a lot of people, a lot of goofs out there that need to get called out for being fucking goofs, for being perverts and abusers and so on and so forth, right? But the cancel culture is sometimes it's a bit intense, and it could attack maybe the wrong people, or some things could get blown out of proportion, because not every single person that's involved in that is involved in the council or exposing people for safety reasons. They're exposing people because they're angry people that want to just let their rage out, and that's so there is like this aspect out there that there's some people out there that are overly critical of our artists. And so for our younger artists coming up, we got to be aware that there is gatekeepers and there is this cancel culture, and we do also have major fucking issues in our community in regards to violence towards women.
Yeah.
So making pimpish rap songs might not be the best bet if you're a native artist.
Yeah.
Talking about, there's issues with fucking overdose crisis. So rapping about your fent sales might not be the jam right now. Right? That's probably not going to get you where you want to be. But a lot of people that at that point in time are like, fuck, well, I'm not even trying to make music for native hip hop and stuff. People that say that always come around. They always come to anybody I've known that's protested native hip hop that were natives, always eventually realize that these are my fucking people and they love me. And this native hip hop thing is not about anything else other than my people are proud and love me. Love us and what we're doing. Right. But some people are so insecure of their nativeness that they're afraid to be native hip hop. That's what I really believe it is. It's just that in this bred in like internalized racism and internalized insecurities that were bred into us and beaten into our peoples that have us worried about that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, actually, this whole native hip hop world.
It is. And then on that thought, I'm just going to do a technical check real quick. I'll be right back. Right, we're good. We're still good in the hood. Just making sure everything was all Irie-man.
So I don't know if you want to, if I could play you just little snippets of little parts of some of the new songs coming up.
Yeah,
I'll just play a couple little snippets of each one. So this is gonna be, we're playing at the beginning. This is gonna be the first. It's a short song. It's gonna be the first single that's gonna be coming off of the new project.
All right, what's it called?
The song's called Extrovert.
Extrovert. Let's go.
Bullshit. Let's go again. Here we go.
Take 2. Extrovert.
So produced by Evan. Yeah. Just get the fuck out and have some fun. It's okay, I promise. Yo, I'm an extrovert. I'll tell you play by play. I put in extra work on my day to day. To all my introverts, you best come out and play. I'll put in extra work so I can make it safe. Cause I'm an extrovert. I'll tell you play by play. I'll put in extra work on my day to day. To all my introverts, you best come out and play. I'll put in extra work so I can make it safe. No matter who you are, I accept you as long as you have fun. This is your refuge and I ain't here to stress you. And I ain't trying to test you. I bet you have fun and you work up a sweat too. Creator blessed you and everything about you. Put a middle finger up to anyone who doubts you. Now it's time to big 'em up. That's all the love around you. Pause for never giving up enough. Yeah, so
Let's go. Let's hear it for Extrovert, Manik1derful.
yeah. I'll play a couple more.
Sliding into another song here. What we got coming up
This
here, bro?
one is called "Oh Shit." The natives in the house.
Oh shit! The natives are, in fact, in the house. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, he brought that homie with him.
We got new music.
Girls are awesome. Oh shit! The natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. I said oh shit! The natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. Oh shit! The natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. I said oh shit! The natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. I said the natives in the house. I said that natives in the house. Still on that taking back the land. This that putting up your hands. Spill lyrics behind the back. Serious, I must demand we stand up if we understand it. The damage done to the planet's proof we taking it for granted. Mad at the fact they be scamming since planning the advancement of resource extraction for financial enhancement. There's no relaxing, just a match of fact is we get it cracking. That means packing, never lacking. Cause the badges they back them. It's real spill like oil fields, but they manage disasters. No matter how catastrophic those topics don't really matter. Which matters is the profit of faucet with no ostrich. No talk of anything toxic, just gossip about who got rich. That science is about as direct as punches and marches. To manifest in some directions and lessons until they got it. They just want a hot dish or whatever the boss gets. No recollection of the answer to the question means they lost it. Oh yeah, so you know a lot of this stuff is all boom bap hip hop. I don't want to do anything cute, anything commercial, anything. It's just rap songs.
Yeah.
Right.
How many songs you got in there?
We're gonna release probably about 14 songs on the album. Right now we've got about 9 of them done. And I'm gonna play this. I don't even know what the hell this is. I'll just play it.
Well, let's go. Now I know where that beeping's coming from, though. I thought that was my shit going sideways.
Uh-oh.
Let's go, Manik1derful. We in the building. Dopest Natives Live Podcast Studio, downtown East Side with Manik, one of the OGs in this bitch.
Yeah. It's a little sneak peeks.
Hey. My people made it through colonization so I can shake it off and know that I will make it. Some rules we'll be breaking, find what we need and take it. Cause sometimes that food's so close that we could taste it. Never be one to fake it. My brother's dangerous, keeping the sisters insulated. If there's ever trouble, I'ma face it. But none of these demons gonna tell me not safe. They still chopping down the trees and overfish in the ocean, but nobody can hear over the noise and the commotion. The city by the ocean, these babies is overdosing. They just wanted to escape, but what they take is way too potent. And still, they try to shame the awoken. These weak devils don't want their sleep schedules broken. Some people never know if we never told them. It's a hard life for the cards ain't right, you better fold them. Whatever, just keep it clever. It's stories told in totems. When the tsunami's coming, some is running, some is floating. Some is sinking, some is swimming, and some is boating. Unfortunately, some's forever lost to the ocean. If you didn't notice, that's a metaphor for life stresses. I wish that everything I reported was a nice message. Without pain, we wouldn't been noticing life's blessings. This is my story that I write, a life sentence. My people made it through colonization so I can shake it off and know that I will make
Yeah. When you are wonderful, you got bars, you got depth, you got lyrics. The shit was fire.
Yes, sir.
You got about 14 of those coming. You got an album name, or you're just still working on that?
I was thinking of calling the album Aboriginal Title.
Aboriginal title.
Or else just Title.
Yeah.
I'm flirting with either of those.
Entitled?
Just entitled, money grabbing, guilt tripping ass natives. That's what,
Free gas, free house.
free taxes.
Yeah, no
goddamn
taxes.
doctors go to their house,
Right?
give them whatever they need,
Yeah.
and money. See, when we go to the doctor, we don't pay for shit. They just give us whatever we want in cash. When we go to the stores, we don't pay for anything. They just give us money. They're like, "Don't worry, natives. Here, we'll give you money and whatever you want." Because that's just how good we got it now, I guess.
Exactly. So when it comes to what's happening next for Manik1derful, we know you got the new album coming out. You're probably going to get into some planning for our next festival.
Yeah, so I'm going to be... Okay, so the next festival is going to be happening in August. I've got a few things going on, actually, but the festival is now... This year is going to also be the inaugural Native Hip Hop Conference.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the Native Hip Hop Festival / Conference from now on. So that's going to be happening, and it's going to be rather exciting. We're going to do the same format of the showcases, but we're going to add a whole element of workshopping, so people are going to have access to professionals of all different aspects of the music industry, professional managers, presenters, professional engineers, recording artists, songwriters, singers, all different aspects of how to succeed at this.
Well, that ties right into what I was thinking, because now with the La Russell and everybody talking independent moves, everybody trying to be independent, to me, it kind of like it I don't want to say bothers me, but it's like everyone's got their own shit. Like, this is mine. I'm doing my thing, right? And we're not really working together, collabing together. Everything is just like, I don't know, man. It seems like we're in silos.
I think I talk about this a lot, and it has to do. It's a big culture difference that we have between Western and Indigenous cultures. And Western culture teaches us to hoard individual wealth and to have that nuclear family and to worry about your little household.
Yeah.
Indigenous culture, we live amongst, whether you're in the prairies, longhouses, whether longhouses out east or the longhouses out here, we lived communally.
Yeah.
And we did everything together as family units, clan units, nations. Yeah. And we have to approach music the same way, and that's exactly why I do this. We don't need to hoard our songs or talents, and right? We work together, and when we do that, we build. And when you look at the success of Snotty Nose, they didn't just do that because they did that because they had all Jolene and all those girls backing them. They had, people, the groups of people that were supporting them and building. And so when they did their initial shows, they promoted and did it all together, and they got people out. Plus, they're making good music, and they're, you know what I mean? But it took a community effort.
So when you decided to partner up with Dopest Natives Alive, with Native Hip Hop Society, and start working on stuff, just that little look that you gave us, we created something dope with this open house. We ignited something, and it already has inspired a new website out to promote Indigenous artists. It's like, it's already triggered a domino effect of positive things for Native hip hop.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, is that there's voids, and there's not really voids because there is just not enough eyes. People are thinking there's not enough Native podcasters. No, there's just not enough support amongst other Natives for Native podcasters. So because we've been friends for years and we've known it's just a matter of time, it just makes sense. So we're both promoting the same thing, both have the same general beliefs in regards to what we want to see. And that's supporting our peoples to do good and seeing our people succeed and stuff. So it only makes sense. And we've spoken about it, but sometimes we just need to, if you build it, they will come.
That's, and the thing is there are other people out there pushing the culture too, but they just don't want to push together or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's this teaching that I received from an elder about buffaloes, and when we're butting heads, we're just not getting along. But if we can all get on the same page and charge in one direction together, that's a powerful thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I think that with all of our, we have a lot of leaders in terms of our individual groups and crews that are out there. Yeah. That if somehow we can unite and pushed together, we'd have a lot greater success. Because I think there's some things that happen, like, you know, there's a lot of petty shit that happens amongst one another, you know, that you got to get beyond and get back to, because it's not about you. Maybe some people might think it is, but I think it's bigger than you, man. What I'm doing here ain't about what I get out of Dopest Natives Alive. It's about the maybe hundreds, thousands, and millions maybe one day that get affected by the little ripple that we started with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
And I'm not going to shut it down because you and I have a creative difference or you don't like my friend or whatever, because it ain't about that. It's about the people and the generations we can't even see that we're affecting with this.
And so I knew, like, early on doing native hip hop festival stuff, that I had to really just be open to working with everybody and giving people fair shots and not being selective about who I chose. If I see native people working and putting their efforts, they're making their music videos, they're getting their music recorded good and mixed properly, and they're putting out, they're working, they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing shows. I'm not gonna, if I don't maybe like the style of rap, or if I don't like that friend group or something, that's not shouldn't interrupt the bigger picture, and I don't let it interrupt the bigger picture.
You know, there's two juggernauts in the game right now that I really respect. Jesus being one of my favorite Indigenous rappers, and Dakota Bear being one of my brothers. And I had the privilege to listen and see them perform a song called Land Back together. And that was one of the most powerful songs I've seen, that got the people jumping, got them moving.
Yeah.
And, you know, for whatever reason, they're not clicking right now, but that song never really got the push. And that song could have been the anthem for the summer, for all the protest. That song had so much medicine in it for the people, but, you know, it just didn't get to. And
it's hard because, you know, I have no idea about the personal stuff between them, right? But once you start getting big recognition and your name starts getting out there, and it's not anything to do with Dakota or Jesus, but for anybody, once you start getting up to this level and you perform in front of your first 1,000-person crowd, and you get your first big checks, and you get recognition, and people start coming up, it's easy to get caught up into that, and your ego starts feeding into it in different ways, and we become, you know, I've seen it happen from so many times through the years. I've just seen it. So many people bumping heads, and not people that should have collabed and worked with each other. But, you know, and it's a missed opportunity. They should have. Like, it is. And it goes back to what I was thinking about in terms of your responsibility when you carry medicine like this, and maybe it's through the hip hop, that you had something that potentially could have benefited the people. And sometimes it's your responsibility to set aside yourself and your own personal dislikes or whatever. Because we're brothers. We're all brothers. We can punch each other out physically, and the next day we still love each other because we're brothers. This is what sometimes we get on that kind of trip. But, you know, we can't, I guess you can. You can find justification for it, but you can't rob the people of this magic that was made for them, you know? Yeah, when you look at, like, the power of collaboration, it's so great. When, for example, a few examples I could think of collaborating being amazing is Team Res Official. Team Res Official was two producers out of Hobima. Yeah. At the time, Hobima. The J-Mac and Moscow Stomp? Cheese, yeah, J-Mac and Stomp. Yeah. And there actually was another producer that was with them at the beginning was JG the Tech from True Res Crew. Yeah. True Res Crew. So Res Official was like basically True Res Crew, some True Res Crew members, ex-War Party members. Wabana quit. Wab Canoe was part of the original Team Res Official. Yeah. And some Winnipeg guys, basically. Yeah. And they made just an amazing collaborative project. The group changed over the years, but they made some of the greatest native hip-hop songs ever. You know, they're not making music together anymore, but they still made some great stuff, and that was a great collaborative effort. Another good example of collaboration would be a Tribe Called Red. Yeah. Tribe Called Red started... Okay, this is cool. This is cool history. It ties into Vancouver, Tribe Called Red, actually. Back in the day, I did a thing when I was working at Kaya called the Electric Potlatch. Yep, I remember that. We did that, and what I wanted to do was do a modern potlatch, but instead of traditional song and dance, we used hip-hop and whatever, but we still did a giveaway, and, you know. So some friends out in Ottawa that were in school out there, it was Nigon, her name's Negon. She was out in school out there, and she contacted me and she says, "We want to do something similar out here.
Yeah.
We want to do," and they did the electric powwow.
Yeah.
And they hired for the electric powwow. They had hired DJ Shub, Bear Witness, and sorry, I'm forgetting the other fellow's name right now. And they ended up. Shub was spinning his first remixes of what eventually was Powwow Step.
Yeah.
And it was such a poppin' show. And I remember people messaging me, "You should have seen what happened in Ottawa last night. People were round dancing in the club when that DJ was playing that. And oh man, it was so cool." They ended up taking that show on the road, and that's how Tribe Called Red came to be.
Was that the Wise Hall?
The Wise Hall was where we did the electric polish.
I remember seeing like the neon lights.
That's
and
right.
All blue and like their oh man, that shit was fire.
Yeah, we had Jackson Two Bears DJing, doing the digital visual DJing, which was so cool. And we had Crisp Cuts DJing.
Yeah.
And I had lots of my youngsters at the time. Like I was teaching people how to rap, doing a lot of workshops. One of my first students was JB. JB, the first lady. She was rapping, and she was my boss actually at the time. That's hilarious. She was actually my boss at Kaya. I was the outreach worker. She was the boss. Yeah. But she was one of my first rap students.
Shout out JB.
So here's some more history in Van. So I did one of the first compilations in town, and I recorded it at the basement at the Friendship Center.
Yeah.
When I was working for Kaya, and I basically just brought my eMac at the time. It was an eMac and Pro Tools down to in a old crappy Apex mic.
Yeah.
And set it up at the basement of the Friendship Center at Kaya, and we decided to make a mixtape, and that's the first time a lot of people recorded. We had recorded JB, we recorded Inez's first song. It's just like a bunch of different people at that time.
Yeah.
And we created that mixtape, so that was an interesting little thing. Inez, of course, went on to be award-winning. JB went on to have still rapping to this day.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the same one that Will Wadhams was on. He was rapping on an Akon beat back then.
I think so.
And I remember we had the release party was at the Friendship Center in the gym, and there was a feast and stuff, and they're dropping that mixtape, and I was standing behind big Will Wadhams back in the day. He was a big kid, and he was 18 years old, and I tapped him on the shoulder because I heard him on there, and I was like, "Hey, you Will Wadhams?" And he's just like, turns around and he's all stoic, "Yeah." And I was like, "Hey man, I think we're cousins," and he's like, "Cool." And then we never chopped it up for like about another year, and then he reached out to me, and then that's how him and I started doing our thing. And when I said I used to get dropped off at Ray Camp projects back in the day, that's his grandma's house.
Oh, sweet.
I used to get dropped off at.
Oh, wow.
That's who raised him, his grandma.
Yeah, I don't know why Will doesn't stop making music, but he's
in my DMs right now. He said, I seen, I'm going to throw you under the bus, Will. I seen Manik post up something. Who's a better East Van rapper than me? So he's feeling inspired. He's like, man, because there's that call out. Ace One wanted to do a mixtape for Dopest Natives Alive, and I included Will, and just in the hopes that it would inspire him, and it did. So
sweet.
Looking forward for him to.
I'm glad I asked.
Right?
Yeah, he was always dope. Is dope at rapping. So
yeah.
So I'm glad. It's just that at the time, it was so political on the streets at that time. It was just a tough time for him to come out.
Yeah.
He couldn't do the shows that he should have been able to do to promote his music. It wasn't, had he did a show at that time, it would have just turned to chaos.
Yeah, it was. And that whole movement those days was a lot more different than it is now, right? Yeah. So, looking forward, hey man, there's nothing but time and opportunity ahead of him. So hopefully you'll take another shot at it.
Yeah.
He's still got the rhymes, and he
was always dope, right? So
still got it going on. So, but anyways, on that note, I want to say, can I do a little commercial here that I've been thinking about? Is here at Dopest Natives Alive, we're trying to build something for the people. We got a dope space here, podcast studio, recording studio. We had a super vibed out session here. Recorded some dope music. We do DTF printing, merchandise, all kinds of stuff to support Indigenous artists, Dopest Natives Alive, and allies. So if you're down with the Nates, you can come and hang and use the space. We got lots of support here for you. You got lots of history here in Manik and knowledge that can help you. And all we ask is that you utilize the space. We're not asking you for a handout. just rent out the space, come utilize the space, and let's keep this thing going. It's a dream of ours to keep it rocking. This is our current partnership and collaboration.
Yeah. If you look at the Dopest Native Alive website, you can see all the pricing for the services here, and it's priced specifically to be affordable. So shouldn't be the issue. It's more affordable than any other studios that have the exact same equipment, probably less talent or less support than we're going to give here. Right?
Yeah.
So this is definitely a great opportunity to record music, create content, create your own podcast.
Yes. And that's what we want to do. I don't want to put the pressure on you guys, but we'd love to support, come and check it out. Make this place like your home as well. Treat it like your home as well. Lots of equipment. We got drones, we got GoPros, we got wireless mics, we got everything you need under the sun, and the space. And then you also got lots of wisdom and knowledge behind moving your next project, your next product. And if you are a dope artist and you're looking for some mentorship, holler at your boys. We're looking for people to work with. And,
that's right. Maybe you haven't recorded a song yet and you need help recording your first song. That's something we could easily help you with. I think both of us have recorded a lot of people over the years and helped people develop their music and their sound and stuff, right? So I know I definitely have no problem doing that. So if people want to get into stuff and start wanting to learn public speaking, that's something we could help. So many different things. And we've been both working in the community for 20 years now, right? Like either of us, right? And so we've got lots of good skills to offer. So
lots to offer. Yeah. And we're willing to pass it on to y'all. So just holler at us, dopestnativeslive.com, dopestnativeslive@gmail.com. You can holler at...
you can Derek1derful at iCloud.com is my direct email. You could contact me.
Yeah.
Just send anything. Send any questions you want. Don't send anything. That's not what I meant. I meant you can send me any questions, any thoughts you have.
Yeah, no D-pics, okay? We don't need none of that.
None of that.
On that note, you got another song you can ride us out on? And
yeah, let's see.
Let's see what we got in that grab bag of goodies. So we just want to say thank you to Manik1derful for all that he contributed to the hip-hop game, Indigenous game, and shout out to Rex Smallboy and all the other forefathers, the other originators of the game. Shout out to Native by Nature, Miss Shells, for the beautiful sweater. And let's go.
We'll just play Extrovert again because this is the song that's going to be coming out in next month in April. You're going to hear this.
That's right.
Peace out.
Peace out. All right, we out on this bitch. Extrovert one time for your mind.
Yeah. Just get the fuck out and have some fun. It's okay, I promise. Yo, I'm an extrovert. I'll tell you play by play. I put in extra work on my day to day. To all my introverts, you best come out and play. I'll put in extra work so I can make it safe. Cause I'm an extrovert. I'll tell you play by play. I'll put in extra work on my day to day. To all my introverts, you best come out and play. I'll put in extra work so I can make it safe. No matter who you are, I accept you as long as you have fun. This is your refuge and I ain't here to stress you. And I ain't trying to test you. I bet you have fun and you work up a sweat too. Creator blessed you and everything about you. Put a middle finger up to anyone who doubts you. Now it's time to big 'em up, that's all the love around you. Props for never giving up and I'm so glad I found you. I'm about to lose it and I'm betting on my manners. I am not sorry, I don't fit the beauty standards. If you really think about it, then what truly matters is knowing the conclusions based on peculiar data. If you feel bad, if you feel like giving up, this is me giving love unless you live it up. If you're feeling low, then you're feeling stuck. So pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I'm an extrovert, I'll tell you play by play. I put in extra work on my day to day. To all my introverts, you best come out and play.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody for tuning in to another Dopest Natives Alive episode.
Dopestnativesalive.com.
Peace, love, and bear grease. We out this bitch.
That's good timing.